And we are now going to take it around the horn and out. We're going to talk about our favorite recollections of World Series past and look ahead to this upcoming World Series, which kicks off on November 4th. I'll get things started. First World Series of bowling, Tom Smallwood. Unbelievable story. He invested in himself, and at the end, at Wichita that year, he reigned as the world champion, taking out defending PBA Player of the Year, Wes Milan. Looking forward, man, I'm always a sucker for the first-time champions. Last year, Ryan Simonelli, Scott Norton tasted victory for the first time on the PBA Tour. Who will taste victory next? I look forward to seeing who inks their name onto the list of PBA Tour champions. Jackie Bowling, first looking back.
I'd have to say last year, World Series of Bowling, when Sean Rash made that Greek church, I thought that was pretty exciting. Watching Bill O'Neill make 4 TV shows. Looking forward, I can't wait to see the world champion being crowned here. Last year we had to wait until January to see who was crowned then. I'm looking forward to see it all wrap up here, and then we move on to the next half of the.
Tom Clark, looking back.
Great. I appreciate the opportunity. The first thing that comes to mind is probably the best match I think I ever watched. The first World Series was Amleto Monticelli against Andres Gomez. It was just an incredible match, and I never forgot that. But I think the memories that last for me the most are things that involve the families, because the way the World Series is set up, all the shows are at the end of the run of the event, and so people know who's going to make a show, so it's easier for their families to come. And I think of Jack Jurek's father being there when he won the first year. I think of Virginia Norton, being there when Scott won his first title, and almost everyone has had loved ones with him when they won, and it's really cool to watch that. Looking forward, the thing that I'm really looking forward to this year is the doubles event that we're bringing back, and mostly because it's named after Marshall Holman and Mark Roth, which was the best doubles team in PBA history, and those two guys are going to be here. So and being with Marshall and Mark Roth and having them in that front row watching guys go after a title named after them, that's going to be cool.
That is going to be among many cool things that you can watch here live at the World Series of Bowling. And now we turn it over to the bowling doctor, Jeff Mark, and Jason Thomas, uncensored, for their views. Gentlemen.
Thanks, Mike J. And Jason, you have edited every piece of video that we've done for every World Series and everything. What is your best recollection of last year, and what do you think? Who's going to do it this year?
My best recollection of last year was.
There you go.
Sorry.
We'll try that headset.
Yeah. Let's try that.
Decided to change headsets in the last show, in the last hour.
Let's start over again. My best recollection was being down on the lanes with my camera during the final qualifying round during the Shark, when everybody was trying to jockey for position to get into the World Championship telecast. I was down on the lanes. It's cold in here. They've got the air conditioning blasting. We're always up there in the Xtra Fame booth on the concourse with our sweaters on, and I went down there on the lanes, and it was like 20 degrees hotter down there. The guys were sweating. It was like being in, a basketball game, a pickup game, or a football game where the intensity's up. The guys didn't waste any energy trying to talk to me. They looked at me like I was a pole in the building. It was absolutely incredibly intense. I'll never forget it. And it was the truest form of competition that you'll ever see in any sport. So, that's the thing that sticks with me. I tried to capture that in that last Road to the Show episode. And, I think we'll have that again, 100 hours worth of it coming up here in a month. So that was my best memory. And my prediction for the World Series, the thing that I'm the most curious to see is how Jason Belmonte does. He's had all these controversies coming out of the last season. He won the ESPY Award, which was kind of cool for him, but within the bowling community, everybody was outraged about it. So I think he's going to come in here really trying to prove who he is. I think it'll be interesting to see how the other players treat him with all the controversy and the fact that he's gotten all this notoriety, and he's changed his game. So I think his game is better than it's ever been, maybe the best he's ever thrown it. He's got a lot of confidence coming in. He just won in Bangkok. And I think he's the guy to watch at this World Series. It's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, he is definitely on a little bit of a roll here. He went from 9th to the lead in Thailand by shooting 300 his final game of the match. So anyone is capable of anything. It's certainly Jason Belmonte, and he is definitely one to look forward to. And for me, it is all the international power players of Asku, Belmo, and it is such a treat to be able to watch those guys. And I mean, we take for granted the players that we get to see on a week in and week out basis, but when the international talent comes in and you get to see their games, and you just sit in awe of watching an Asku, just the raw power that young man possesses is just impressive to watch. I mean, he is just rock solid physical specimen. And that kid is unbelievably talented, and watch out for what he's going to do this year. He is a joy to watch, and to have those international players and be able to watch him in and out, and to follow all the action on Xtra Frame as it gets down to elimination, down to the show and the final tension. And remembering probably last year, Richie Allen standing on a chair next to our booth, watching the last shots come down to not make the finals in the World Championship, and we're sitting there doing the math. As if you've ever been behind the Xtra Frame booth, it is utter chaos when it gets down to a position round or anything like that. A lot of calculations trying to get things right, and he's sitting there listening to our math, and he knows the situation, and he sat there and watched his hopes for that show just go bye-bye. And I'll never forget the look on his face when I think Belmo crossed on a hit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, he went very high and tripped
very
to four.
high, tripped to four. I remember it was not flush.
Right.
But that's probably the one that sticks with me.
Little motivation for Richie or Dick.
Yes.
As we are now calling him.
And he's had an unbelievably hot summer, and I look for him just to dominate here at the World Series of Bowling. I'm looking forward to watching him too. Power players, I think, are going to have a very, very good year here at the World Series. So.